Mario has been in our lives since 1981. Back then, he was also referred to as Mr. Video or Jumpman, sometimes Mario. But of course, now he's solidified in the video game world as Mario. Everyone knows who he is. You just know who Mario is. Whether you play video games or not, he's pretty much a household name. I mean, the guy's been around. In the original Donkey Kong title in 1981, Mario's core mechanic was just a jump. And yet here we are, 36 years later, and Mario's core mechanic is still just a jump. Which I think is a good thing. My first experience with Mario was the original release of Super Mario Bros. On my parents' Nintendo Entertainment System. It was amazing. From the second I saw the game, I was hooked. Video games would be a part of my life from that moment on. And when my dad showed me the Infinite Lives trick, I thought, wow, that's incredible. How would you even find that without the internet being a regular thing? You just couldn't YouTube how to beat a level or find a secret. You had to literally search every inch of the level, try every single combination of moves and jumps, just to be sure that you found everything the world had to offer. I mean, there were pipes you could go down that weren't obvious. There were literally invisible blocks that you would have to just happen upon in order to be able to find them. And there have been several times in my life when Mario has changed the course of video games for me. The first, obviously, being Super Mario Bros. On the NES, but the second was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was my cousin's SNES, and I would only be able to play it when I went over to his house, so that was enough to make me save up my money for my very own SNES, just so I could play it at home and I wouldn't have to wait for the next visit so I could get my hands on the next level. And the third, of course, was Super Mario 64. 3D Mario? Are you kidding me? How was that even possible at the time? And while there were many other phenomenal Mario titles over the years, Super Mario Bros. 3, the Galaxy series, Sunshine, Paper Mario, in my opinion, those three games are what made Mario, Mario. And now here we are, Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch, the latest title in the Mario franchise. And this game is a masterpiece. It holds on to the core gameplay mechanics of Mr. Video jumping over barrels from the evil Donkey Kong to the sense of exploration required to find everything the game has to hold. Everything is so very different and yet still the same.
Same, but different, but still same.
Each kingdom is vast and open. They feel alive. They're teeming with activity, both friends and foes, and no two kingdoms look the same. They're all wonderfully unique in how they present their own representative themes. The themes, of course, being the driving factor behind how moons are collected in each kingdom. The colors are bright, beautiful, complementary to each world. The game is just fun to look at. Just simply running around, checking everything out is worthy of your time in this universe. It's the little things like footprints or water droplets on the screen that really draw you in, and while admittedly these things have been around and they're not new or groundbreaking, far too often these days they aren't presented in such an astounding way as to not have the opposite effect and remove you from the immersion. They're not just a gimmick, they're a part of the game. They're what make the game so great. And of course, the music and the sound design are exceptionally crafted to top off the immersion that Odyssey has to offer. You completely lose yourself in this game, which I feel is even more impressive because it doesn't rely on realism to make you relate. The light-hearted, cartoony Mario are still very much alive and thriving. So this begs the question, why this Mario? What's so different about it that makes it great? To me, there are two things that really drives this game home. Number one, those core mechanics have now been perfected. Everything works exactly how you think it will work. Mario jumps when he should jump, and he lands when he should land, and he changes direction when he should change direction. The controls are really tight, and you can feel it when you play. And number two is obviously the new stuff. As I mentioned previously, the reason that Super Mario World and Super Mario 64 changed Mario for me is because of the newness they offered on an already epic adventure. World offered a new sense of life, brightness, and mechanics to the series. 64, of course, brought us the 3D mechanics and a new way to navigate in and out of each world. The paintings. You were no longer just following a path on some outworld and clicking on a dot and moving into the world. You entered them, you jumped into a painting, and then there you were in this completely different world. Snow-filled or desert or underwater. It was insane. And Odyssey adds so much to Mario's repertoire through their new things. Cappy obviously being the main addition to the game. And the ability to use Cappy as not only a means to take out enemies, but to also take over the bodies of different creatures along the way is such a refreshing concept in today's rinse and repeat industry. From a tiny frog to a giant T-Rex, these things you can take over are so much more fun, and each one operates in a way that isn't gimmicky. It's used to complete tasks that Mario alone wouldn't be able to do. They are built into the level, and you have to think about how you can use each character for one thing or another. And on top of that, we have costumes. You can purchase so many different looks for Mario that while they don't add that much to the actual gameplay experience, they really crank up the fun. I mean, who doesn't want Boxers Mario, or Fancy Mario, or Cowboy Mario? Oh, and get this, all of these unlockables are available in the game and don't require a season pass or loot crates or IRL money. Can you believe that? Nothing extra has to be done. You only have to play the game and collect the right coins, and you can cash them in the store. I truly believe that this game has the best chance to be the game of the year. If you have a Switch, you need to play this game. And if you don't have a Switch, this game has to be the most compelling reason so far to purchase one. Yes, it really is that good. And while I'm only about 6 hours into the game, I can't wait to get my hands on it and continue playing. I will search high and low. I will find every single moon. I will collect every single coin that I can collect and purchase every single outfit for Mario. And even though the story is still basically the same, Bowser comes in, he kidnaps the princess, Mario has to save him. It's such a new and refreshing breath of air in today's industry. This game is a part of its past and yet so much about its future that it's phenomenal. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's something that has been done before but never done in this way, and I hope that that's not too confusing for you. I hope that it makes sense. I just had to make this video to explain my thoughts on this. The game is so good. I really hope that you check it out, or you have a friend that has a Switch so you can check it out. Even if platform games aren't your jam, you should check out this game, because as far as video games go, they don't really get much better than this. Thank you guys for listening. I'm jDantastic. I'll talk to you all in the next video.